In the stages of your career or your creativity, there are going to be some moments where you do not feel like you are good enough. I know that is such a hard thing to feel because I've been there. And it could really come because you may be comparing yourself, or you may not feel as adequate. Maybe your boss told you something and then it made you go to the bathroom and cry. Or maybe you were in moments of just really rethinking your life and thinking like, hey, am I good? Am I something that is useful? Like, are my skills useful? Transparently, there was a moment in my life where I had just graduated college with my graphic design bachelor's and I had minored in art. And I had just landed my big girl job, you know, the one right after school. And it was with like a marketing agency. And I was so excited. It was downtown Chicago. I was like, yeah, this is it. And after a week being there, I was let go off of them saying that I did not ask enough questions. And for me, I was just like, I know that's not right. Because personally, I really love to know what I'm doing. So I was asking as many questions as I needed to, but I just really felt like they just didn't want me in the first place. So I went into the office and the two managers were so nice to me the whole week. They were telling me how good I was doing and all this good stuff. And then at the end of the week, they brought me into their office, and the owner of the company, he went down a whole list of who I was not. Ooh, I'm thinking about it right now. He was like, you are not detail oriented. You are not organized. You are not this. You're not that. He like kept going, kept going. And I started crying, and I'm usually a G. Like, I don't like to cry as much, but I cried right in front of him and the other manager, which was a lady. It was so blindsiding. Like, I just couldn't even believe what I was hearing when I was getting gassed up during the week. And I felt so betrayed. I felt so inadequate. I felt like all the skills that I learned in college were not even recognized or appreciated. And I felt like just turned on, like a slap in the face. And then he gave me a box of tissue and was like, here, you can take a tissue and I'll pay you just for this week. It's like he turned so cold. I'm like, wow, like it was a shock to me because it just made me feel so horrible. Like, that's all I can really say. And when I look at that moment, it really was kind of like a diving board for me to really look introspectively, but also to know that, hey, Ashley, the level that you are at right now in your creativity is needed somewhere. It just wasn't needed here. This person didn't value it. They, baited and switched you in a way, and that wasn't the place that God wanted you to be in. And so I am encouraging you, if you are in your career, if you are a creative, maybe you're not a creative, maybe you're in the health space or you're in cooking, which can be pretty creative, just know that your skills right now, even if you're a beginner, are needed somewhere. Don't count yourself out because someone may not like it, or you may point at yourself and say that you're not good enough, because sometimes it's not even someone out in the world telling you that. It's yourself. You're looking at someone else, like I said in the beginning, comparing yourself and looking at their skill level, and you're taking that in and you're becoming super critical of yourself, and that's just not going to help you. It's not going to help you rise in what you're trying to do. But I just want you to know that if you're working at something, if you are, plowing the field in what you're doing, just know that your audience is waiting for you. So I, as a creative, as a photographer and artist, I'm a multi-disciplined artist, right? So I have certain ways that I do things, and for me, photography, I've been doing it for 8.5 years and going on 9. And art, I've been doing my whole life, but recently I became more public with it, showing it on social media. And when I tell you God has changed my life, like He's allowed so many opportunities to come out of that one act of obedience of picking up my art again. And it was crazy. That year that happened in 2024, it was opportunity after opportunity, and it blessed me. And I just had to realize, like, man, Ashley, I am just here to say that when you are in your level, If you're looking at someone else, I would say look at them as inspiration. If you begin to look too long and now your heart is feeling a little bit down about you, then go ahead and log off of social media. Turn that phone off and really remember that you are you and they are them. They have their own chapter, you have your own chapter. Someone's looking at you and it's like, man, I want to get to their level. And you're thinking that yours is just not valuable, but it is. Look at the stages in your life as building blocks. You're literally building a building brick by brick, and that's how it has really helped me in my perspective. Like, I've had moments where I have felt like I wasn't going fast enough in my career, and I would just burn out because I'm creating so much. And I really had to sit myself down and I had to really know, like, Ashley, no, it's time to pace yourself. And I encourage you, when there's moments when you feel like you're not adequate, there's sometimes this tendency to try to prove or try to act out of an insecurity. And no, because that's when you're not going to create your best work. You're going to just do it because you want to save face, or you just doing it because you don't want to feel bad about not working. But no. Intentional paced work is the way to go, because it's going to really make you feel like you're truly being authentic to yourself and you're not faking it. You know, when you are pretending, it is so much energy being taken out of you. Like, people pleasing is so draining. All of those things that take a part from you are just draining. So we're going to exit that out this year, and we're going to really embrace who we are. Embrace your journey, embrace your path and your skill and your creativity and your career, because when you do that, the people that are for you are going to be attracted to you. There's something about really loving where you're at, loving who you are, loving your skill, and being content in that moment that will draw the right people to you, that will draw the inquiries, draw the clients. And it's happened for me. When I tell you that anytime that I tried to strive to do something that I felt like I just needed to do, it never worked. It never worked. God was like, no, Ashley. And I really do believe the right work is going to always find you. When you are doing your best, when you're putting your heart into it and taking breaks, because I believe in that too. But when you're doing it in an authentic and real way, your work is going to find you. So I encourage you to keep working, to keep going, but to understand that if you count yourself out, you're already taking away from the beauty of what you're doing. Now, this video is really for people that are feeling very purposeful in their creativity and their skill and their career. But if you are not feeling purposeful, if you're not feeling fulfilled with what you're doing right now, then I would encourage you to take a self-assessment and really think about, what am I passionate about? What do I feel like I can put the most effort to? What do I feel like I can do with ease? What is something that I can move forward with that I feel good about doing? And then write your goals, break that down even more into some smaller goals about, what do I want out of this? Do I want it to be a business? Do I want this to just be a really good hobby that I do for close friends? Or is this something that I want to grow and expand on? And when you get clear about that, then you'll know how to approach it. You'll know how to maneuver in it. And so if right now you feel like you are a beginner, like you're at the entry level stages at your skill, at your job, your career, it's okay to feel the way you do. It's okay to feel like you're the new person. It's okay to feel that vulnerable spot in your heart where you're like, oh my God, I feel open. I feel like I don't know everything, but I do know what I do know. I don't feel like I can speak up as much because I don't feel like I'm an expert yet. It is okay. There is somebody that wants to learn of your journey in the beginning stages. Trust me, because some people are even afraid to start in their skill, to start in that career, to feel confident even in the beginning. There's some type of hard or challenging at every level. I promise you it is. So don't feel like if you're a beginner, you're looking at the expert and they're like, oh, it's so easy. Now, when you do have your 10,000 hours of something, it does become a little more easier, more efficient. Because I know for me, I could really do photography kind of with my eyes closed in a way, but that's because of how many years I put in. So there is efficiency with it, but there is still a place for me, even at the level that I'm at, that I'm like, okay, I feel like there's still more. I feel like I have to learn and like sharpen this skill that I've learned over the years, and there's still more that I need to develop. But please know that your difference, your uniqueness that you bring to the table at the level that you're at is going to be appreciated with the right people.